totally fucked.
Yeah, it's not connected to Facebook. Oh, we'll work on it. I don't know what the plugin is not talking to it for some reason. I got the stream key and everything. It's just not connected. Well, farts. We'll just have to do a great show that nobody watches on one thing instead of two.
Just post it later. Who gives a crap?
That's fair.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen.
It's fist deep, Terry. You get to tell him that. You're the announcer.
All right, Jake Young. And Terry Shepard. Today's guest,
Who we got today?
the incomparable Jason Emry.
Dude,
I thought we were getting wristbands.
you thought we were getting wristbands?
No, Mysteremry. I thought we were getting, and wristbands. I didn't get wristbands or Mysteremry.
Now let me ask this. Should we have maybe put him on here as Mysteremry? Oh shit.
Who are those guys?
I'm screwing up the production something fierce. That's fine. This is par for the course. Dude. Fist deep. The big show. We're back for another week. That nobody watches. We're fucking pumped. I'm not supposed to be dropping F-bombs, but I'm pretty excited about tonight. We've got a creative genius and mastermind that's going to be hanging out with us. And speaking of creative genius and mastermind, as always, Terry Shepard. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. I thought you were talking about Mr. Emry's cat.
We're going to meet Mr. Emry's cat. Hey, could you, I mean, your tits look great.
Wait.
Could we get your face in the screen for a minute?
Oh, these are a good solid C cups now.
Dude, those are voluptuous. That is an upper decker that I would not mind parking my bat in. Thank you very much for popping those out for us. What's up, man? How was your week?
It was a good week. Spent the weekend. I went to Cincinnati. It was a lot of fun.
Okay.
I went to Geta Fest. My friends and I thought that Geta Fest we would get like ribs and samples of Newports, but Geta is apparently it's a German breakfast sausage.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So we went to a sausage fest.
Another one.
Another one.
God almighty.
It's
sausage
about life.
parties everywhere.
Yep.
And actually, you know what? I'm not going to say anything about that. I'm going to write down a note, and I'm going to bring that up later.
Yeah?
Yes.
So what'd you do this week? How was your week and weekend?
We had we showed the film last Wednesday. You weren't able to participate in that, but we showed the film at the IMAX, dude. It went over great. I say great. It wasn't like the whole place exploded or something, but we did really well for what we put together. I figure we probably got we were probably the fifth best out of everybody. People laughed when they were supposed to. They continued to laugh with the slopping of the meat at the very end. It was cool.
I was proud of it. I think we all did a good job. We fleshed out a story that was funny and made sense. Yeah,
100%. So we're going to get over to our guest immediately because we don't want to keep him waiting too long. We got something we want to show for him real quick to kind of bring him in. We have had just the pleasure of working with this guy just recently. You know him from comedy.
Yep.
But he was in for the rest of us. We hit it off great. He has a very high tolerance for certain chemicals. Dude's freaking cool. And now we're going to check his. Oh, where's that?
Similarly, if you find yourself struggling with your sexuality, why don't you back off? Because clearly the answer is no.
Dude, immediately my favorite joke. of 2021 at the very least. The man, the myth, the legend, Jason Emry, Mr. Emry. What's going on, man?
Hello.
Howdy.
How's it going?
So what do you think of the show?
What's that?
Nothing.
Oh.
So what's going on, dude? What have you been up to?
Oh, hanging out, working, shouting over telephones. You know, the normal thing that you do, that adults do.
Right?
Typical Tuesday.
I feel like I was always looking forward to shouting over a telephone when I was a kid, and now I'm living the dream. Nowhere else to go but down from here.
That's right.
It's pretty
The pinnacle.
easy. If you think about it, I think people probably shout over telephones a lot more than they used to. Because it used to just be high-powered Wall Street dudes, and then everyone else was pretty polite, I think. Now everyone.
It used to be like that, yeah. It used to just be New York City assholes that kind of yelled and screamed and stuff, and now everybody is a New York City asshole.
Yeah, exactly. We're all New York City's asshole, and proud of it.
And now New York City is like, why is everybody such an asshole? Like,
We
you
got-
made us this way, New York City.
We've got so many new reasons to yell about, and so many more ways to yell at people. So it's just inevitable that it's going to happen. And it's
That's
going to become
right.
an echo chamber of shouting.
Dude,
All
where's
That's
caps.
basically what it is.
All caps all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many cats do you have?
That's basically we just need to figure out a super caps. There needs to be a super caps so that we can like type in the middle somewhere, so you can actually have just. I feel like we need a third level of expressiveness just for shouting. So all caps isn't good enough.
Dude.
Agreed. Like we got emojis. We added emojis which are very expressive. So I like your idea. I like your idea, Terry.
Thanks.
That's how you get. That's the rule number one to getting things done. Incept people always. That's the major
Did I say-
rule. Huh?
Did I think of that? No, I didn't think of that. It's accepted.
I mean, oh my God! I just did. Did you just crawl out of my brain? Like that's the major. That movie didn't just have a plot hole in it. It just was a big thin ring donut because like the whole movie was about have something be their idea without them knowing it, and it's like that's the easiest fucking thing to do in the world. It happens a billion times every day. You see it on Twitter, on Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg does it by accident before he takes a shit in the morning 1,000 times a day. Like, it's easy to give someone to think it's their idea.
Mark Zuckerberg shits 1,000 times a day.
Yeah, he shits 1,000 ideas all at once into a toilet. Yeah, he's got a problem, suffice it to say. You saw him in that picture on that the hover wave runner. He got holding the American flag. He's like, I'm humaning. I am a human. Ah.
Hey, now they'll relate to me.
Yeah, so proud. This is what you all do on the weekends, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, poor Mark Zuckerberg. All that dude wanted to do was be invasive.
He just wanted to be like 100,000-aire living somewhere in like California, but he accidentally created the world's most powerful sales engine.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. And influence drive.
Yeah, and he seems to have he so far had no interest in calling his ambitions in terms of making money, and moving forward, no plans to. It's
And why would
it's
he?
not on his radar
No.
to give a shit.
No.
No.
When you're a
No,
humongous Tyrannosaurus Rex, you don't give a shit what anybody thinks below you. You just chomp, chomp, chomp and smile the whole time and have a good time with your little bitty
That's a
arms.
great point. Those Russian brontosaurus taste just as good as those American brontosaurus.
Nom, 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 nom.
Nom, 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 nom.
They're so good.
Chinese brontosaurus, delicious.
Brontosaurus from China.
Brontosauri.
So, you got the opportunity to work with us last week.
Yeah.
What
honored.
did you
I was
think of
honored.
the whole acting experience? Was that your first time to act?
No, I had been actually in a acting company, literally like not a like traveling band, but like a talent agency. And I actually did act in one paid role in Seattle. I was a bouncer. I played a bouncer, oddly enough. So I'm guessing that I just opened a door and it was for like a commercial. So you barely saw me. So they just wanted from the shoulders up. But no, basically like my only acting, speaking role. So yeah, first time doing that.
Okay.
And yeah, and that was a lot of fun.
You had me convinced that you were actually Jason
Oh man, the whole time.
the whole time.
That's part of my craft. I was in character the entire time. So method, beyond method.
You crawled into Jason's pajamas and just knocked it out of the park. I've
Right.
never
So-
seen anybody. I couldn't even imagine somebody else playing Jason.
Yeah, it was like a second skin because yes, I was completely nude underneath the pajamas. So absolutely,
It was like if they wrote a role for Heath Ledger, called Heath Ledger.
Yeah, played
It was that
by
good.
Mysteremry.
Played by Mr. Emry.
Heath Ledger is Mr. Emry as Heath Ledger. Wait, no, I might have flipped that. Anyway, yeah, no, I'm with you. Absolutely. It's just I fit right into that part as myself in pajamas.
Yeah, that was fun.
So how long have you been doing comedy for, man? I get to find out about you tonight.
Oh yeah, cool. A couple of years now, I think. I'm really bad with calendars. I actually have no idea how old any of my cats are. I assume between 3 and 10 years. I've had all of them since they were kittens. I should know this. I'm actually about to just send an email to my mom. It's like, are any of my cats set to die in the next 5 years? I don't think so, but I just really get this on my radar.
Right?
It only lasts so long. So yeah, I'm around 2 years. You could add like, there were a few other comedians who I remember meeting like when they were basically starting out too, like Blake Champlin. I think I met close to like, I think he was there a couple years ago and he's been doing it for a couple years. P. Rez.
Okay. Who we're
I'm
trying to
name
get on the
dropping
show.
here. Yeah, Gregory Mack. I think
Yep.
he's about the same length of time. And yeah, there was a whole group. It's pretty
Yeah, we
cool.
started pretty much about the same time.
Yeah, that's right, Terry. Yeah, so it's cool because you hear about these other comedians like that have made it, and they talk about back in the day when they started with the same people who are now all famous as hell.
Right.
And you know, so it's like, hey, you know, if anyone ever does make it, now I see how it happens. Everyone just is hanging out here, and it becomes a group of people, and then you're all sort of seem to hang out for a while because you're just stuck in the same freaking city.
Yeah. Rising tide. Go ahead, Terry. I jumped on your analogy.
No,
There you
go
go.
for it. Rising turds.
Rising turds lifts all shitboats.
Lifts all shits. A rising turd will lift all shits.
That's right.
A rising turtle.
A rising turtle lifts the
All
shits.
the shits. Well, that's how
Lifts
he
all the
rises.
shits.
That's how he gets big. You know, he's got to lift the shit.
That's how he pumps up his shoulders at
rise.
the very least.
It's kind of, well, that's what makes it a beautiful cycle. He rises to lift the shit, and he must lift the shit to rise.
You know, what's interesting about you is just how completely different you are non-comedically than comedically. So like when you're on stage, your Mr. Emry persona and the jokes that kind of correspond with that are in that sort of Mitch Hedberg, Stephen Wright, you know, one straight kind of punch to the mouth sort of vein. And some that you have to think about. You can't just show up and be a dummy and hear your stuff. And you hear that in this Indiana's Funniest contest. What a stupid crowd.
Right.
If any
That's
of them
what I
are
thought.
watching, they're so stupid.
I thought these people are freaking idiots.
What a bunch
I
of
agree.
stupid asses.
Bunch of stupid idiot people for sure. Didn't even get it.
Just
I thank
the worst. That whole crowd. That joke is gold. That crowd didn't blow up over that shows they are stupid.
I mean, you know, I believe that, like I was saying to another local comedian, I'll keep dropping names, and these people can like get tagged and just deal with it in this episode. This is cross promotion. Jaclyn Metcalf, another local comedian,
Yeah.
was talking to her last night and just commiserating about comedy in general, and yeah, I don't know. Me personally, in that set in particular, the reason I bring that up because I mentioned to her is that I think I do better with energy. I like to squash energy because I mean I think that Terry, you've seen me. Well, if you see that whole performance, you see the way I enter the stage, and like you said, it's it's a different energy I bring. I look at it as my own Bobcat Goldthwait, just the way he's actually this way, but then when he goes, "Oh, I'm Bobcat Goldthwait," he just freaks out. And now he's actually normal, and he just has a shaved head, and he's just a normal guy.
Right.
Like, that's kind of how, like, so that's my version of it. Is yeah, it's not me, but it's a part of me, and so it's like that's like probably a good paradigm to look at that. But one of the things that I've been trying to get better at and perfect is just completely destroying any energy that has been built up, or at least like creating a tension instead of coming out and being, "Hey guys, how are you doing tonight?" and being kind of like that sort of shuffly, kind of like loosen up the crowd or keep the energy kind of where it is. That a lot of it works. It's like natural, and I'm not saying it's wrong. It's definitely the right way to do it. But my plan when I enter a stage is to just like eye the crowd, make them think that I've got a little bit of serial killer in me, and that like I'm just okay, and then just shut it down and wait for everything to silence, and usually a few giggles will go off, and you can just sort of menace those people, act like they're going to be a problem before they are, or they won't even be. It's kind of like me pre-heckling a little bit too. I don't know, but that's I think what went wrong in that instance was I was the first performer. I mean, there was the MC or there was the host, obviously, who did things before me, but then I come out and I'm the first comedian. It just didn't feel like there was enough energy to squash.
So you would have been following DJ Dangle? Is that what they call him? DJ Dangle? Is that what his name is? DJ Dangle?
Yeah, Dangle.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Or Dangler? Dangle?
Yeah, Dangler.
Dangler? Is it Dangle or Dangler?
Okay. Dangler with an
Dangler.
Yeah.
Who was also at Terry's and did the MC duty there. Very funny. But man, you guys couldn't be more night and day as far as how he comes out just like with a half a bump of blow in him. and then you come out and you're like just still waters and impending doom.
Yeah, and I think that I think it's a bit random too. So I'm working on some ideas to be a little bit more integratable with more like trying to feather the edges of my act a little bit so that I can
you can pull up to your you can kind of get closer to where he was, but feather them into your
like get closer to kind of more of a middle line too, which is where like so if he's way above the midline and I'm way below it, I'd like to get at least to the midline, maybe and be able to maybe tweak it so I'm starting a little above it or below it, wherever I want to start, vis-a-vis like whichever jokes I use or certain tags. I'm starting to add tags to older jokes, and that's a way of kind of keeping on topics. So it gives people kind of room to think about the last joke without having to introduce a whole other concept, and I think that's it too. So yeah, I agree. It's a bit of a possibly working against my favor currently, a bit of a contrast there. So working on that. But hey, I like the I like the one-liners. Can't deny it. Like the weird one-liners.
Oh, they're so good.
I'm a big fan of them for sure.
Thanks guys.
They're super clean. Real quick, we are going to move over to everybody's favorite segment. Whoops, Hot Topics.
Hot topics.
Yum.
What's it
I
called?
almost ended the call.
It's called fist bumps.
Fist bump.
Fist bumps.
Yeah. This is all original score. Terry.
Are you kidding me?
No, we just straight ganked this from someplace. Terry, where did we gank this from? This was a free source.
You were kidding me.
Shit.
The correct answer was yes.
No, No, we ganked that shit.
Yeah, I know, but all right, whatever.
So this is Hot Topics. This is where we discuss all of the hottest topics of the week. Boy, I can't talk tonight. I may have to pass the mic. We're just going to move on to number one.
Andrew Cuomo grabs pussy too.
That's exciting.
Dude.
What?
Andrew Cuomo, he grabs pussy just like Trump.
Did they catch him on a hot mic?
Nah.
They caught him.
Nah.
They caught him grabbing pussy, just straight up.
Nah.
I don't think they caught him straight up. I think just he's had a handful of accusers lately and more
A
coming
handful of accusers.
11
right.
accusers.
out. 11 of them. They're
If no
coming
one's
out.
using that joke already, you could. It's like a handful of accusers grabbing their pussy. Yeah, that's well, I mean, look at the guy, of course. And you know, this is the danger that I've foretold when the Me Too movement very much started. I'm like, careful what you wish for, ladies. You're gonna open up what's the male version of Pandora? Panduda or Pandero? You're gonna open up Pandero's box.
Panderek's box.
Yeah, I like Panderic. You're gonna open up Panderic's box, and you're gonna find a lot of creepy stuff out about the men that you respected, your sons and your like everything. It's like the reverse of Me Too. Your sons
That's right.
and your fathers and your grandfathers, cousins and your uncles. There's very few. Yeah, them too will be our
Them
hashtag.
too.
There's very few of them who have not accidentally or to a certain extent just creeped on people on the fair sex. Because I actually have a bit about this where it's akin to women have an electric fence that is their sexuality, and we as men, it's our job to throw our talons and bodies against their electric fence, probing for weaknesses. And you could try to explain electricity to a raptor, it's not going to help. And you could hand a raptor a book, it's not going to help. You can't, none of it is, we're just raptors, we're looking for weaknesses, don't take it personally, don't take offense. So that's kind of, but you know, they're obviously not to give cover for the predators, because this did start out with Andrew Cuomo groping women, and I'm over here like, how dare these women?
Well, all you did, yeah, what you just said is what are we supposed to do? We're predators, so where's your fence holes so I can finger them?
And then also, so there's a few layers to that, with all that included, a nice, delicious bean dip, we'll say, of topics in that, which is like, there's no way for us to learn without making mistakes, A. And B, guys are pretty much just creeps their whole lives. It's like eventually you get a wife and she just lets you be a creep whenever you want, like for the most part, like 60% of the time, I assume.
Right.
40%, I don't know what it is. But like you meet a woman, it's not like you stop being a creep. Your woman just becomes like a silencer for your creepiness. It just doesn't enter society anymore. It's like lucky society.
Have you ever considered that maybe you're projecting on 4 billion humans?
I don't know. I've just been observing. I'm observing and reporting, so it doesn't feel that way. I don't even date. I keep to myself. I stopped trying because it just doesn't work out. Just I don't have the moves, so I just sit inside and write jokes about cats.
Lots of jokes and lots of cat crap in that place.
Yeah, and I'm getting into even more hermetic hobbies. So it doesn't. I'm not seeing light at the end of the tunnel. Just more darkness, and I'm fine with that. You know, everyone talks about the light at the end of the tunnel, like it's so great. It's about darkness at the end of the tunnel. That's okay too.
Right. I'm in a tunnel of light. I just want it to be dark for a minute. My eyes hurt. Number
Exactly.
2.
Like, you know, staring at light, now I look around, there's just a dot in the middle of my vision. It's annoying as shit. I'm trying to drive. Doesn't work for me.
The MMA GOAT retired. Artem Lobov, one of the most beloved figures in all of mixed martial arts.
Artem Lobov?
Artem Lobov. He gained notoriety as the training partner of Conor McGregor. He was on one season of The Ultimate Fighter. As you can see, he had a losing record, but he still referred to himself as the GOAT. And in our hearts, he was. So I just wanted to say farewell to Artem and thank you so much for all the great memories. And he beat up Paulie Malignaggi in bare knuckle boxing, so that's not That's not nothing.
I don't know any of these names, but he got 13 professional wins. That seems all right to me.
We were talking about this earlier, actually. Jason, Terry, and I were talking how it seems like in these hot topics, more often than not, people have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, at the very least.
Not so hot topics, then maybe lukewarm topics.
They're hot for me.
Yeah, and I
call
know plenty of people into the MMA that probably know exactly who the GOAT is. So.
You got to call them Jake's hot topics. Then it's got to be a little bit more specific, just so people know. It's like everyone else may think it's complete bullshit, but I'm here to represent.
And that's all I'm trying to do.
That's fine. I've got, so he was a training. All right.
You're all right.
Well, he was a training partner of Conor McGregor.
Yes. Who the fuck is that guy?
Did he catch a whiff of that snapped ankle and was like, no thanks, I'm good?
No,
Yeah.
Artem's been doing this for a while.
Maybe it's an Ocean's 14 kind of thing where he's actually part of the squad, and you cut to training where he's kicking the shit out of Conor McGregor's shin right there over and over, unbeknownst to McGregor. Yeah, he's secretly weakening his shin, and then he's making a bunch of bets, and then he retires and he disappears to Epstein Island, which has now been vacated, quote unquote. Someone's got the move in there, right? Like
it's now a tourist trap.
Yeah. Oh, and how? It's a Shanghai-style tourist trap, like very literal. You might disappear from your family's lives.
We're a little sage, it'll be all right.
Did you say very liberal? You might disappear from your family's lives.
Maybe I forget. Before that.
Number 3.
No, try.
Oh, Biles back and Bronze on beam.
Biles was back.
Good for her, yeah. She came back and
Jacko off his backo.
She
Yep.
what?
Sorry. No, that's awesome. Well, she got the twisties, and then although it's so suspect, so many different stories came out about why she left, and I don't believe anything anymore.
And the media just likes to run with stuff. And company, one person said it was this, and they all ran.
And they're all. And the dumbest part is that they're all still trying to scoop each other, like it's still classic, media. So they all just grab different scoops and run with them, and then it doesn't make any sense.
What's craziest is that this is a human being that flies around like a freaking ninja.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't feel confident in her ability to flip around like a ninja and not break her neck, she should have the right to sit down and chill out.
That's kind of my feeling. Like in this, it's more that defer to the experts, and in this case, she's like the most expert.
How do you get? I mean, and because you hear other people say, "Well, you see a baseball pitcher will do well." That's great, but that's not flipping through the air, and you can kill yourself doing this stuff. Gymnastics is insanity.
Yeah, you can completely just land on your neck wrong and be a quadriplegic instantly. So yeah, no,
It's madness.
don't. If you're not feeling it, sit it out. Feels good.
But how are you going to be up somebody's butt about that? That is bonkers to me.
A lot of armchair quarterbacks.
Ugh.
Well, and like literally, to that end, like it's almost like our society has very much been trained to this behavior, though. If you think about it, a lot of people, everyone's always an expert as soon as every topic comes up,
Yes.
and it's probably like actually a wave that's happening on the internet where it's different people standing up each time because they all got to sit out and be like, that's exhausting, right? Who can troll like 365 days a year?
Right.
But like it definitely seems like every single topic that ever comes up on the internet, it's just a complete 50%. Everyone's got the same opinion as the actual people who know what they're talking about, and then we move forward as that's the case.
Yeah.
That's how our politics work. We use that informs all of our policies and our opinions and all the pundits. So that's a lot of fun. So yeah, Simone Biles, damn you in your confusing conduct, pulling out and then rejoining. You've only added fuel to the fire.
How dare you make a personal choice with your own body?
Yeah, with your looking out for your personal safety and your sky flips.
How selfish for you not to want to ruin your life at 24.
Man, it's a dang shame. But well, anyway, you can count on So, yeah, you can count on like pundits to have opinions about that.
And speaking of opinions, fact, Pandora box is out. Opinion, could have happened sooner, and I'd have been all right with it. Pandora's been very, very vocal lately about the fact that she hasn't got near the screen time as some of the other queens. If you get a chance, look up Bussy Queen. Does a great analysis on it. Turns out she's kind of right, but kind of wrong. Another drag queen who does stuff online. So anyway, Pandora finally.
Brother Pandora.
Pandora wasn't going to make it. Pandora wasn't going to make it much past, sixth or seventh or something like that. She just wasn't. We knew this going in. Pandora leaving isn't huge. Raj O'Hara is probably going to be up there. Trinity K. Bonet is probably going to be up there. After that, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think we were both muttering about Panderic and hoping that would somehow influence the conversation. I don't know. Beyond that, like it makes me think of like Pandera,
right?
Like it was like Pantera but cross-dressing.
Oh, dude, I totally forgot. So the biggest gag of the season so far is the fact that poor Trinity K. Bonet, when she finally starts winning her lip sync for her life, her wig falls off, which like instant disqualifies her.
What?
Then
that's so fierce, though, right?
Then the remaining no, it's not. That's a huge.
I'm confused
no-no.
about how fierce works. That sounds fierce to me.
If your wig flies off, that if you were trying to impersonate a woman and your wig flew off, I mean the illusion's lost instantaneously. That's crazy.
But it's camp, right? How is it camp if you're not winking all the time?
What? That's
like,
not a wink.
No, but you're always.
That's like
winking,
doing the whole thing with your dong.
No, it's camp. It's camp because you're always winking at the camera, knowing that it's not real. We're acting fabulous, but we're like we have penises and we're dudes, but it's fabulous. Right. But hey, you want to get a beer later? Fabulous. I don't know. I thought that was camp. I thought that defined camp.
I'm not so sure that it wasn't just offensive. That was disgusting.
I gotta shut this down. That was terrible.
So, if we could get back on track for a moment with the gag of the season, this is
is that what they call it?
Poor Trinity K. Bonet loses the lip sync for her life. Then they go to Alexis Mateo, who was is that right? Was this Alexis? Oh, I don't remember who she danced with. Anyway, so she pulled out 2 lipsticks. Both the queens, well, it was a tie. So now it has to go back to Trinity K. Bonet. Poor Trinity lost the challenge, didn't get the $10,000, and still had to vote somebody out. Give me some analysis on that, Mr. Wig Flying.
That's how I feel on my help phone call that I was on shortly before I joined this. And actually, that hold music that you guys had for the podcast really calmed me down a lot. I felt very pacified by that. So great choice there. Guests coming in hot. They're just gonna hear that tranquil music. They're gonna see disembodied parts of mannequins, and they're gonna feel soothed. I think for the most part.
That truly is original score. I actually wrote that, and I wrote the intro music.
Oh well, it touched me on a spiritual level. Just so you know. So.
I did it. Yay.
That's what he was going
And you send me the raw wave so I can put that in my shower. I can just pipe that into my shower.
Hell yeah. Absolutely.
Have that be my place of peace.
Take a bubble bath.
What was the question anyway about Trinity?
Number 5.
All right.
Terry.
Roast
You guys
battle.
win. Panderic's out of here.
Roast World Championship Friday 8/6. Be there. Inside the steel cage.
Where's
This
there?
is Roast World Championship Insurrection at Red Curb Comedy in Avon.
Where's Avon?
If there was barbecue at roast battles, I'd show up more. Like if it was also a kitchen competition,
Like a roast.
Hey, that would
I'd
be
show up to that. Yeah, like each person actually prepares a roast and tries to make it legit as possible, and then they
Hey,
also
I like that.
could even
All right. Now,
factor into the.
Jason, didn't we have the conversation about roast battles and? Go ahead.
Yeah, you had your own. I forget what you called it, but you had your own concept that you came up with, which was the inverse of that. I don't know if you had it written down there because you had a decent name for it. You had a name for it.
Instead of roast battle, they would be the compliment accords.
Yeah.
And you would have to show up and out-compliment the other person.
Yeah. And then also somehow make them feel bad sometimes.
Well, yeah, everything is backhanded, but it should be a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, but then I'm really also interested in playing with the art form of genuine, because you know they say like there's a compliment sandwich. Like what about an insult submarine or something? You know,
Okay.
Like how would that look like? And that would be kind of what it's sort of like that. It's like so you can definitely be sarcastic. Most of us are that already, but then how do you also use like you just pepper it with actual compliments so that they're like, oh, thank you, and they don't see it coming. It's like,
there should be a beauty and an art form to it, absolutely. But I think that's something that would be fun to do.
All right.
Well, you gotta schedule one and then put some competitors together and see if it's totally stupid or not.
Of course, it's totally stupid.
To merge your
I
love.
mean, that means it'd be good.
To merge your love for RuPaul's Drag Race, and we could have a drag version of this complimentary brunch. It could be a complimentary brunch.
Well, Jan got voted out.
God
damn it, you're right. Dude, I screwed up my whole segment. Dude, I forgot. Pandora's who I wished had left. Jan got voted out. That was the gag. I screwed up the whole segment.
Everyone's screaming at their screens right now when they're
Everybody,
looking at it. Like,
I can't do this any longer. I screwed
so
up the whole
embarrassing for
segment.
you.
It's so embarrassed for me.
I'm into
come here.
Terry's idea of seated complimentary comedy.
Now we have to go back
Oh my God.
and change everything to say Jan out.
Wow, this is humiliating. Our the people who come to the show, I assume, to get their gossip, are completely angry about this.
Oh, I'm furious. We lost a viewer while I was typing Jan out, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I could hear them
Look, right
storm
here.
out. That's what that sound was. I didn't know what that was.
That was one viewer who just dumped us, all because of me
Just like,
screwing up the goddamn drag report. Now Pandora has to leave next week. I am a fool.
Or you're a prophet.
I'm a fool.
You're either a fool or a prophet.
I can't show my face in these waters again.
Or you're just a guy who likes wrestling and dudes who tuck it back.
And that's Hot Topics. Oh yeah, I forgot. I haven't even busted one of these out yet. I have these great
Why has that not been
farts.
here? This whole you've been dropping the ball.
Yeah.
Got that sweet new tweak set up over there. You're not even using it.
Dude, I got farts.
Are you sure that's what those were?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds a little bit lippy to me. That's a lippy part there.
Ew. Lippy. Dude, Terry has a whole beef curtain thing he does about his poor wife. That's all I think about. When you say lippy, I'm like, that poor lady.
Oh no, she's such a lovely lady from what I can
Isn't
tell.
she?
She's pretty all right. And if there's only one thing that I would change about her.
Oh my God.
It's trim up them curtains.
Why didn't you play the sound effect right there, man? You just missed your opportunity.
little vagioplasty never hurt anyone.
Okay,
Hey.
this is off the rails. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna. I don't go ahead. You go ahead. You go
All
ahead.
right.
What's next?
So, what's next, dude? So, we have some exciting stuff coming up, I hope, since Jason has been brought into our lives. He's got some great stuff that he has pre-written already that we're hoping to kind of get together and do a no-joke comedy Fist Place Productions collaboration on. There it is, No Joke Comedy. And get together and put out some content that maybe gets like 6 viewers.
Really, I'm gunning for double digits. Gunning for those dub digits myself. Gonna
Dude.
dub didgeridoo.
Is your sister watching?
Ooh, what?
Is your sister watching?
Mine?
Yeah.
Is this live?
Yes, it's live on YouTube right now.
I didn't know you fixed that, or that was, or maybe.
No. I was trying to get it live on
Oh.
Facebook as well. I was trying to do Facebook Live and YouTube. I couldn't get Facebook to work. We're absolutely live on YouTube.
Absolutely. Well, then, yeah, probably. Maybe.
I've been trying to figure out why we have 3 viewers. It makes more sense now.
What's happening? It's 3 viewers.
You
Hey, we're
brought-
on our way.
Oh my God, we had a 50% increase in viewership, all because of Jason Emry. The numbers are huge.
Get it back.
Hitting on everything.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about, so last Thursday we got together with Jeff Goltz and Jerry Goebel. Terry was gone for the evening, being wined and dined, and we took the reins over and came up with a blessing, a lightning bolt from the heavens called Storm
Yes.
Trailer, which
Almost
may
certainly.
morph, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, Terry was off. His wife was trying to get in his pants. So,
Right?
good for her.
Hell
Yep,
yeah.
exactly. Loosening him up, just getting him in the
So
mood.
this, let me tell you this too, Jason. This is also kind of a pitch to Terry, because this will be the first time that he's really heard your telling of the concept.
Yeah, which I think I can kind of summon pretty effortlessly, because it's at least been been focusing on it quite focusedly since we kind of hashed it up. Because it actually started. It's actually the genesis was a few days, or at least like earlier that week, I think, probably Monday or so. We were just farting around on the 48-hour production chat group, I think, on Facebook, and I literally think, I forget who it was, but someone just made a comment about, I'm going to storm off to my trailer. And then my brain flipped that around into storm trailer. And so I said that, and I think I made a couple jokes about that. And then there were hard nipples came up, as they do, as they should, as
Which was
they
a big
should.
selling point to me. That was when I got brought in.
Yeah.
I thought Storm
I feel-
Trailer was an awesome name, and Hard Nips, I was like, oh.
See, exactly. I think that's why it's important to bring that up, because without hard nips, there would be no. Now it's evolved into, since then, storm warning. Because since you saw fit to name the session, the name of the project code name we were working on was Storm Trailer.
Right.
When we had that meeting with those fellows there. We just sort of started spitballing about this insane idea of what started out. The barest concept was when I conceived of, I think, when I heard Storm Trailer, and I think the jokes I made about it were something like, it's just a family that lives in a trailer that just keeps getting chased by storms.
Right.
No, they just keep it picked up by storms, and there was no idea why or what or who. But that was the joke, and then so we turned that into a whole writing session, and we jammed out a whole bunch of crazy concepts and ideas, and it basically I boiled it down into we got 6 whole episodes, mostly detailed out here, and then a couple. It was supposed to be like what, a 5-minute short or something.
It was the rules of it were supposed to be, one, we had to use Storm Trailer, because that was the concept.
Oh, yeah.
We had to, what was the other rule? I don't even remember my own rule now. We had to use Storm Trailer. It couldn't be political
Was it
unless
nips?
it was super awesome. And
I think it had to have nips in it.
I wanted hard nipples in that thing so bad.
I thought that was one of the. The
No,
requirements.
and it has to be something that we can actually shoot. It has to be practical enough that we can work around problems and actually make it happen.
Yeah.
So remember that TV series Sliders, where they would slide into like a different time or
Yeah,
period?
yes, I do.
Yeah.
And so it's Storm Trailer, but maybe there's, and I'm sure you already have your concept, but in my mind, I'm picturing this trailer and this family, and they get tossed into some other time period or place, and they got to resolve something, and then next thing you know, before we even know what's happening, they're spinning around, and boom, they land somewhere else.
No, as a matter of fact, that's very buildable into the universe, because we've already got an episode where they visit the land of Oz, and it goes all Wizard of Oz style.
Yeah.
So it uses that same construct. We're using the in general, but I do, what is a wormhole but a big old tornado sideways through space? I'm a scientist.
Yes.
What I find most interesting about how you describe things, which I run into myself at times, is that kind of like the family circus cartoons when mom would say, "Hey, Billy, go tell your dad that there's a phone call." And he would jump in the sandbox and go up in the tree and jump over the fence and back over the fence and chase the dog and run around in a circle and go on the swing set. And then you know what I'm saying?
Who are you saying that to?
You.
Oh.
You.
Yeah.
It's
okay,
funny.
yeah, no.
It's interesting, Liz trying to corral the cats.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. I definitely. I am one with the storm. That's probably why it was so easy for me to write. It's my life. It's my life story. But yeah, essentially, what it turned into after me kind of trying to take, because I didn't take notes. I'm not a great note taker, but it's kind of like because my brain is pretty good about like a Jello mold, keeping details suspended for long enough before it melts. So there's enough time if I get it down. I think I got a lot of the good notes and concepts that we brainstormed. That's got to be one of the episodes. The brainstorm, or it's a villain. Oh, see, we're writing right now. Can't even stop it. So and that actually works into it because it's instead of being a body, it's just a brain. And that we basically ended up inventing a universe or verse where governments are creating. Oh, it might be a spoiler, but where there are sentient storms in the mist. To make a pun, maybe, where they're what you got to worry about instead of an X-Men style mutant or something is a guy who shows up out of nowhere and just soaks into your trailer because he's a storm that's been developed by a secret government program, and antics ensue. Basically, it's a semi-sentient trailer. It's
storm.
Yeah, like it's a guy. So. Storm Warning, Storm Halliburton Warning is a mutant super soldier who has a human form, a humanoid form. He's also able to sublimate into a storm form, so he can become an entire weather system, and his body and consciousness is contained somehow in the particles and in the physics of a weather system. And then he's able to localize that. So it can be like little storms and wind stuff and summon things. And then there is also the trailer, which actually isn't him so much. It's more like a mech suit, or basically it's like a Iron Man suit, except the way it fits him is that he's able to sublimate himself and become one with it. So
it's just a plain trailer.
Yeah, well, it looks.
His Iron Man suit is just a plain trailer, Terry. It's
it
important.
looks like a
it's
plain
important
trailer.
you understand that his Iron Man suit is a plain pull-behind trailer.
Okay, so
it looks like it. It's
the
actually
budget is workable.
Well, like that's just it. It looks like you shoot it as a regular trailer, but it has secret powers. Like stuff happens, like doors and stuff close in a way that's like, I was even thinking about this the other day. When the windows and the doors shoot open sometimes, they do it in a way that's mechanized, not poltergeisty and not human-like. It just looks like actually like pistons opening things. It looks like things being actuated because it actually is a machine, but it's a trend.
So Storm, in inhabiting all these different forms and taking on all of this stuff, befriends the son, who then kind of an ET sort of deal, and and we show the personification of him, how he kind of builds almost like Dr. Manhattan, and how he kind of turns into the new human form. He befriends the son. And like you say, shenanigans, and so we don't want to give a bunch of stuff away, but from that point forward, it's a reliable sitcom.
Yeah.
That may just be a little bit dumber than maybe
it was funny. It was funny because before the writing session, I had written down some notes, and one of them was, and I've told Jake this, that it was Family Guy style insane characters, something to that effect. Like how Seth MacFarlane writes in, he's got like he's got the baby that talks, he's got the goldfish and the alien that talk, and it's clearly a choice by him to add these off-the-wall characters in, because then you get to tell off-the-wall jokes, because people have already accepted the character.
Right.
Yep.
So, like, if we've got this crazy universe where all this is accepted, pre-accepted, well, now you get to tell stories that are acceptable that wouldn't have been otherwise. Because just like getting people into my set with more acceptable possible jokes, it's the same thing with with the storyline. If you get, especially with this episodic content, if you get people into it in the first episode or two, you can just spin their brains around. In this case, literally, however much you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, stoked. And we got, I've already got, I don't know if Jake has shown you, Terry, but we can pass it around or put it online or something. I've got one episode, one script for an episode written already, the first
Yep.
one. And then the other two or three, the other ones can write pretty quickly, because that one took me literally 3 hours to write, because it was all already mostly there. I just had to basically flesh it out.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't much longer after we finished talking. I think that you sent me something over.
Well, I was up late because we had talked about, we also had there's another one we can tease if we want. The critics are raving.
Oh yeah. Which, by the way, Terry and I talked about it. Him and Ricky are going to send me their footage. We're going to try to get all the footage together before Thursday's show.
All right, cool. And I can do some stuff here too.
Cool.
Yeah, no, I was busy. I was up for about an hour writing review quotes, and then when I got done with that, I worked on the Storm Warning episode. So yeah, it's been a busy writing, but I like it, and I want to write more. I just don't have time. I was at Gutty's Comedy Club last night at their open mic doing that.
Dude.
So,
shooting some of this stuff is going to be a lot of fun. Having some already kind of ready-made things that you've put together and being able to collab between the three of us is going to be a lot of fun and really interesting in seeing how this turns out.
yeah, totally. With more than 48 hours.
With a few more than 48 hours this time, let's hope.
A
That
couple,
can make
like,
a little bit of a difference.
shoot for 72 this time, dudes.
Well, Jason, as is tradition, at the end of the show, you get to say whatever you want. So what we do is we're just going to zoom in on you, and you can have the microphone for a minute. If you want to tell someone to kiss your ass, literally anything that you want to say, feel free to let it rip. And the floor is yours.
Oh crap! I just grabbed what was closest to me here, and it's a joke. It's a concept I'm trying to crack right now, which is data. Date a data, as in you can date Data
From Star
the
Trek.
robot from Star Trek. Yeah, data. And it's like instead of, I don't know if it would be data or blind data. Which one would be better? Because I don't know exactly what the concept is, but conceptually,
I
what
love blind data so much. That's just my vote. Sorry, go ahead.
blind data. Okay, well, you guys can help me flesh it out, because I don't know how to get from blind data to a Rolodex of genitalia is what I want to get to. Or actually, holodick. Hashtag holodick. Yeah, so I wanted to get because you imagine like Data, he's built like a man, but like there was an episode where Data dated. Does Data or he definitely dated her at some point. He dates a nice lady, and you gotta wonder, because you watch the episode. It's not like they do show some development stuff, but it's not like she's there for his sparkling personality.
Right.
So he's got to, have some serious trunkage going on down there, or whatever she likes. Like maybe that chick was actually a lesbian, and he just shifts over to
So he has a holodeck that.
He has a holodeck. Or that's actually, I was actually commenting with a couple of friends online about it, and that came out later. But at first it was a Rolodex of genitalia, and I like that one too.
Rolodex of genitalia.
Because it's much more mechanical, and then you can move on to see, I got to make this into a stage joke. It's like a jukebox, and it's like you just select your genitals, and then it gets stuck, and then Fonzie comes up and is like, "Hey!" And he bumps the crotch of it. So there's a lot, you know. I've got this concept I just started writing down, and I don't know exactly how to glue it all together, but there's a lot of gold in there.
Well,
Those are my final words.
I'm glad that that's how you chose to spend your time.
Yeah, me and my cats.
If anybody has any suggestions, go ahead and put those in the comments.
Absolutely.
Hashtag holodeck.
All
I
right.
like holodeck, but I do like Rolodex of genitalia too.
Yeah, to me, that's just a powerful phraseology.
All right, we're gonna put you over in the green room. Sorta, actually not. Everybody, Jason Emry, hang
you.
tight though. Don't hang up.
All right.
Holodeck.
Holodeck.
Hashtag holodeck.
It's so dumb. I had to have the talk with Jay. Jason's still here. He can hear us. We're producing this as though he's in the green room, but he's really just right here. Shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. What was I gonna say? I have that problem a lot lately. Turning 48's been tough.
It is, yeah.
I forget a lot of stuff. Oh, there goes Jason. Looks like he's gonna forget some stuff too. What was I saying?
Hashtag holodeck.
Hashtag holodeck. Okay. Dude, super talented guy. Man, his brain is like a freaking. Have you ever seen those hamster mazes
Rolodex
they do
of
online?
genitalia?
It's like a Rolodeck of genitalia. You're exactly right. That's where that comes from. You can hear it going the entire time.
Yep.
It's awesome. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We got 4 people today. Jason increased us by 200%. That is just a massive amount of profitability.
Every week.
I can't wait to see the numbers for this one.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say, big man?
Dude, check me out at the roast battle Friday.
Absolutely. Avon, right?
Avon, yeah. Red Curb Comedy.
Red Curb Comedy. Where's that at?
It's an Avon. I'll throw a link
That's
out.
all I care about. That's Misty.
That's Steve, everyone.
Dude, I'm excited for you to just rip Metcalf in half. Just slaughter her.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart, though. I don't want to do that to her.
What's
Jaclyn's
that?
like if Amy Schumer was funny and wrote her own jokes.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's a good roast.
that is a good roast.
Now you have to say burned her at some
Burn.
point.
Oh
Burn.
yeah. We're having, we're gonna have a fun time, you know.
I've never met, like, I guess I shook hands with her once after that class that you took with Jerry when you performed there at, what's that place?
Yeah, Jokers.
Jokers.
Special thanks to Marshall Mathers. He hasn't sent me any letters lately. I'm wondering if he's okay.
You need to get. I'm surprised that you haven't heard something.
Man,
by now.
that was deep.
Maybe wait to hear something back from you.
Yeah. He's probably waiting.
This is the other original composition, by the way, Jason.